very often some of the things that you're telling yourself are things that you learned when you were very young, and they're often things like if in English there's a saying like never talk to strangers, right? And your parents teach you never talk to strangers. Now fast forward, you're 25, 30 years old, you have a business, you need to talk to people to tell them about your business. But you've been learning since day one, never talk to strangers. It turns out it wasn't never talk to strangers. It was make sure you don't get kidnapped and abused, right?
Yes.
Right? But that's not what the challenge now. So that belief is just a belief. It's not a real thing, right? And sometimes people say, and I see this at every level, very successful people. I mean, if you would look at them from the outside, you would think they're successful. Nice house, nice car, good money, kids go to private schools, summer camps, but they're inside they're really struggling. And it's because they're telling themselves things like, whatever I do fails, or you never live up to your potential. That's one that a lot of business owners hear because, I mean, this is a terrible thing to say, but usually the kids in school and university and all that who got straight A's, usually they're not the ones opening businesses. They're the ones becoming vice presidents eventually and maybe, executives. But it's the B and the C students who are opening businesses.
That's so true.
They've been told their whole life when they were in school, you're not living up to your potential because everyone knows you're smart. Everyone knows you're capable of it. But you're busy with other shit. I don't know what it is. Listening to rock music, watching, reading, sports. You know every player's statistics, but you're getting a C in math.
Wow.
Right?
I always had a C in math.
Right. The teacher is saying you don't live up to your potential. So now, you believe internally that you're not able to succeed. And worse, if you accidentally succeed at something and it's never accidental, you don't believe your success is real.
And you drop the ball.
Right. Or you're just miserable the whole time. So it really is, nothing is real. The world is not real. You can change your memories. I don't know if you know that.
I was about to say that. Let me share a little bit of my story following with an analogy, okay? Yeah. My whole life, I think the most of us, we have been dictated in people with the P's. We call it with the P's. People with authority, like parents, professor, what else with the P's? Pastor, priest. Right. All these people has an authority when you're a kid, and they dictate what you have to do, right? Dictate?
Yeah.
Yeah, they dictate what you have to do. And all this thoughts, and they push you and saying and whatever they said through your whole life. So I had that. I have ADHD, right? Mm-hmm. And I could never learn.
Can I tell you how many business owners have ADHD?
And successful
90%
people.
of them.
Successful people, yeah.
Michael Phelps.
The list goes on.
The list goes on. I'm going to share a little bit of Michael Phelps after. But my whole life, I've been thought like, Tico, you're dumb, you're dunk, you can never learn. Mm-hmm. You know, when you were, I was called to present present some work project, right?
Yeah, okay.
With the team, I was always shaking. I had diarrhea all the time.
Right.
Because I don't know how, I didn't learn how these other kids learn, and I couldn't present that project, right? And through my whole life, I've been thought that I could never learn, and I self-block myself. Mm-hmm. That's how I say. I don't know how to say.
Yeah.
So I blocked myself, and I wasn't able to learn anything, like reading anything, going to workshops, seminars, and stuff. I could never learn, and she's a proof of that, right, babe?
Yes.
5 years ago, I had to unblock myself, and then comes the analogy, right? If you think about a triangle, at the peak, that's your real world. That's the past. That's what happened in your life. And with whatever happened with you at the peak of the triangle becomes a thoughts. The thought becomes a result, an action, and action goes back to the real world.
To the result. To
the results.
Right.
So the way I found trying to explain what I asked you. The way I found to unblock myself was putting new thoughts. Like
100%.
Learning, change my thoughts, change my habits. You know, always learning, always being conscious that I need to change my thoughts. So now...
Yeah, that's what you said, right? Changing your thoughts.
Your internal dialogue. And you can learn your internal dialogue.
Yes.
When you find yourself having trouble with something, ask yourself, why am I having trouble with this? And the answer you get is your internal dialogue. It doesn't matter what the answer is, right? It's your internal dialogue. Just decide that whatever that voice is full of shit, because it probably is. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.